Okay guys, here we are with our iPad app, and your phone is basically going to be the same thing. So what we're going to do here is the first thing is you're going to go to the App Store and you're going to download Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded that and you have your account set up, you're going to go to Machine Setup or Sign In if you've already done your machine. If not, you're going to select the machine that you're setting up. And again, you can use the Cricut Joy with your mobile apps because it's right now the Joy app is only available for iOS. Mobile, and that's it. Otherwise, you're going to use your desktop application or you're going to use this application. So I'm just going to select my maker, and then it's going to ask me to create my account. This is where you create all of this. Just follow the on-screen prompts and create that account. I already have an account, so I'm going to sign in. And here I am going to just get my password in. There we go. It's going to ask for my Face ID, and then we're just going to sign in. And this will be blurry for you guys, but that's okay. I have to protect my information. So now you're going to determine how you're going to connect. If you're going to connect with the Bluetooth on your maker, or you're going to pair it from your settings, there's your pin number 0000, or you can just plug it in and play. And I've already set mine up with Bluetooth and everything, so I'm just going to hit connect, and it should read my. I guess I've already set this one up. I had to replace my maker, so this one may not be set up there. Let's see. This might be it. This might be my old one. Yeah, that's my old one. So let's go and turn our Bluetooth on. So I'm going to make sure that all of that is turned on. And let's just go to our settings and go to Bluetooth. And my Bluetooth is on. And I'm just going to unplug my USB cord. There we go. There it goes. It was the right one. It just wasn't in there. And again, some of this may be blurry because I have to protect my information. So I'm going to select my maker. And then enter the pin. And then hit pair. And now it's paired up. So I'm just going to go back to Cricut Design Space, and we're going to connect. And there's my maker. So now it's found my maker, and I am just going to stay in range, let it load up. You can see that it's loading there. And then once it's paired up, you're just going to hit continue. And then you can do a test cut. Now I'm going to skip that. You guys can do your test cut if you want to do your test cut. This video is more about using Design Space than it is actually creating a project. So now that you have your machine set up and you have your Bluetooth set up, next you want to go to your profile. And up here at the top, you'll see your profile there, and you can view your profile and go in and edit it, put in your information, and this is where you can share projects with the community. Everything that you share with everyone is going to be in here, just like in the previous videos where we talked about profiles. When you share with everyone, it puts it in the Cricut community for all. If you put anyone with the link, it only shares with people who you give the link to, and then just for you only is for you only. Anything you upload cannot be shared. You can get a link, but they can't open it. So make sure that you are aware of that when you're sharing your files. Next, in that profile, what else was there? Yeah, anything you share goes in there. Oh, when you're on mobile, unlike the computer, you have to have a photo in there. It will not let you save it and do all of that in your profile to share without a photo. Okay. If you want to share without a photo, you can do that online on the desktop app. So also in profile, you have your machine selection. So if you need to change from your maker to your Joy, just select it. Let's go. Let me cancel that. And then you also, in there, you have your Cricut Access. Here it will show you how to manage your access. It tells you when yours ends, when it's going to renew. All of that kind of stuff will be right here. If you hit manage, it's going to take you off the app into a browser so that you can manage your account on Cricut.com. And then you have print then cut calibration. Print and cut calibration only needs to be done if you're having a print then cut issue. If you have print and cut capabilities. Not all mobile devices will have a print and cut capability. We discussed that in the previous video. You only need to do this if it's not cutting properly. I encourage, when you're doing print and cut and you're learning print and cut, I still do it today because you just never know. Print on copy paper and do a test cut before you cut your materials. Just a word of advice. You never know when it may be off, when the sensor may not be reading correctly. Sometimes updates affect print and cut. There are all sorts of things. Always do a test cut. Shiny materials. If you're cutting a shiny material, put a piece of tape over your bounding box where it reads, just your matte Scotch tape, so that it's not shiny, because that reflection off of the sensor I have discovered can sometimes do perfect on copy paper, but when I put that shiny material in there, boom, it cuts off. So that little bit of reflection can sort of distort sometimes. So make sure that you're using some matte Scotch tape over your bounding box if you're having that issue. Next, in the profile menu, you have manage custom materials. Again, I'm going to go and say, don't change your basic Cricut settings. If your vinyl isn't cutting right, don't go adjust your vinyl setting, because your settings are set for a new blade, a new machine, and materials and mats, new mats. Okay? They are tested. They test them in all kinds of various situations, and that is the best setting for your vinyl. If it's not cutting and you need to increase pressure, create a new setting. That being said, if I create a setting here and then I go to my phone or I go to my computer, that setting will not appear. It is per device, just like fonts, per device. Okay, so if you set up a setting in your iPad and then you go to your desktop to cut it, say for doing chipboard projects because you can't use a knife blade, or a foil project because you can't use the foil on mobile at this time, then if you've got that setting set up to cut in here, it's not going to appear over there. So make sure that you have all of the settings. So you've got to select the machine, and it is per machine as well. So if I change to my Joy, then that setting may not be there. But you're just going to scroll. Don't affect any of these, and set up your own setting by scrolling all the way to the bottom. Oops, I forgot to hit this. I'm going by computer. We scroll to the bottom. Actually, on the iPad, you're going to hit the plus material. My bad. And then you're just going to put your material in, and then hit add. And then it's going to pop up. If you're on the computer, we've already done this. It takes you up and puts it in alphabetical order. So now you need to select which blade it's going to be. Let's say we're doing some kind of a felt project. I'm going to select my deep cut. And here I'm going to make this the preferred blade for this material. And then I'm just going to increase my cut pressure. And how do you determine cut pressure? You want to use if I'm doing a separate felt cutting, I want to try the Cricut felt cutting. And if it's cutting too deeply, I'm going to, and there's a set at 185, I'm going to go to 165 or 175, 5 to 10 points at a time. If it's not cutting enough, then I may want to increase it to 190 until I get, or 195, until I get a cut that works. If it's cutting in one cut with Cricut, that's what I'm going to do here and leave that off. If Cricut does 2 passes, I'm going to try my setting at 2 passes as well. You can also use the Cricut setting and maybe just increase the pass. You have a lot of options here. If you do not see an option, it means it's not available on that device, okay, or whatever material that you may be trying to set up. And then you're going to save. Okay, I'm not going to save that, but you can notice that you don't have a knife blade here, you don't have anything else, you just have the 3, the rotary blade, the deep point blade, and the fine point blade. At this time, we do have the knife blade that shows up in the desktop app, but we can't adjust it. There is no adjusting on that. And be very careful when you adjust your rotary blades. All right, so that covers that and how to do those. So you set up your own setting, and then it will appear in your settings, and we'll get to settings later. And then you have help and feedback. If you need help or feedback, that will take you over to Cricut.com. You can leave your feedback. The About is going to tell you your contact info, legal and privacy, what you can sell, what you can't sell, the angel policy, all of those kind of things, and what's new. And then you have sign out. So that's going to complete this tutorial, just short and quick. And now that you've got your profile set up, we're going to move over and we are going to start talking about text and uploading fonts and using fonts with your iPad. I do use the AnyFont app. You may want to get that. There are other tools. I just use the AnyFont app. You can see me use that. However, the AnyFont app is for iOS only. Android cannot upload fonts at this time. There may be jailbreaks and stuff like that. I don't suggest it. There are apps that you can use to create with your text and then upload to Design Space should you need to do that. So let's conclude this video and move over to talking about text.